Now that we finish the stats in the real world or stats in our world assignment, I want to take a few minutes to kind of reinforce some of the ideas and goals of the class. And many of you in your Get to Know You post ask questions around wanting to see how statistics applies to your life or your career or major. So I just want to take a few minutes to do that for us here. So in our syllabus, and I know probably you haven't all read it, but one of the goals of this class and when I teach statistics and why I teach statistics is kind of outlined here in our course syllabus, but specifically, I'm hoping the course will help you develop a statistical mindset, not just doing the calculations, but really thinking about what statistics is and how that applies to our world. And I think the first thing I would want you to think about is that statistics is about us. We use it to study us. So it's really around the study of us people, the world, right? All the things related to us. And specifically, they're kind of outlined in those bullet points there. Goals of this course, right? If we do it well and you start to think deeply about it, you'll start to think about how you consume data, what statistics are in our world. Is it misleading or not, right? How do you figure out if something's misleading? How do you test people's claims that people make when someone makes a statement? You ask yourself, what do you mean when you say what you say? What's your evidence, right? These are questions that you should be asking in all areas of your life, not just your career, could also be your personal life too. What are the explanations, right, that people provide for their claims, and especially around statistics? And then always asking as you observe and see things in the world, asking yourself, did I just see something unusual? Is it likely that what I just saw could have happened by chance, or is there something really connected to that, right? And overall, thinking critically about data and statistics, really thinking deeply about it. So again, that's the goal. And you finished this assignment here that I think introduced you to this idea of a kind of misconceptions that many people have about the world and about data. And there are a lot of different areas here. But many times in my class, when I start class, I start asking questions, right? And so again, I have students try to think about in all the data that you see in the world, right? Um, how do you see, right? How do you see it, right? How does it reflect you in any way? Are you connected to that data or statistics in any way? And then does that data make you want to do something, right? And so that's, again, those are the bullet points that I want you thinking about. When I start class, I ask some questions. Here are some questions that statistics can help us answer, right? I can kind of predict who you're going to marry. Um, that's often a question people ask, right? Um, how do we do that? Well, there's this awesome website here that's collected all the data on, I'll find it. I guess it's not here. Let me click on it anyway. Who you're going to marry. Let me click on it. There we go. And so this website here, accumulating data of marriage certificates, tax returns, right? You can take a look and see who marries who. And so what do I mean by that? Let me zoom in a little bit. Right, so, and I'll give you the link to this stuff here. You could say, okay, I want to be a social worker. Who do social workers marry? So you type in the profession. Let's see, social workers. And then out of social workers marry other managers. And again, this is statistical data. They marry drivers, truck drivers, elementary school teachers. But again, the bar graph kind of gives you an estimate of the highest percentage, and you can see numbers down there. So if you met a social worker, there's a good chance they married another social worker or a middle school, elementary school teacher, truck driver, and so forth. Let's pick another one. How about, let's say police officers come up, since a lot of you are thinking about law enforcement. Police officers marry teachers and nurses and other police officers and secretaries. That's the highest amount. So we can kind of predict, again, just by putting in different majors. Some of you work in retail, managers. My brothers both work in retail, salespersons and managers. Guess who they marry? Other retail salesperson. Frontline retail workers, other managers. So you get a sense, again, that's that idea of using statistics to make predictions like that. How about how to have a good life? Something like that, right? There's this amazing study that's been done. I'll find it here. The longest study done on human happiness, right? And again, I'll give you the links on there. And what we find out, right, using this study is that human relationships, having strong relationships with others, is important. And then there's the study goes into longevity, what predicts. And again, it's an interesting study that followed people for years, since 1937. So we have a lot of answers to big questions about the world. What's another question? Can you guess someone's name, right? Just by, can you guess their age by their name? That's an interesting one too, with a link there. What do I mean by that again? Let's see if I can. There's this name calculator here. And so if you give someone's name, so for example, my first name is Martin, calculate, you'll get it. And so you'll see a distribution, something we learn about in statistics, a distribution. The median living boy named Martin was born in 1969. So, and again, ranges from 29 to 60, where the most people named Martin are within this ages, and you can see the distribution. So you can see the highest year right here, about 1962 or 3, the most Martins were named that year. And again, this is off of data, right, that we have. A baby's given the name that year, and the shed area is the number of people that that year that are alive with the name. Oh, alive, and then people, this one is the number of people born that year and number of people alive that year with that name. So you can see less and less people are named Martin in 2020. I had met a student named Litzy. I never heard of that name, and she was in my class last year, and so we went to this. Oh, that's more than likely. There we go. It's still binary in terms of that names. And so let's see, you can see there was in 2000, right? In 2000 here, you will see there were a little over 600 Litzys named or living in that year. So you get a sense it's a brand new name, whatever that name is. There we go. So again, these are awesome questions to think about. Does money buy happiness? Again, there's a nice link to that. And the answer is it does, and it's awesome. I use Google Bar to kind of help with that question after seeing that study. And Google Bar does a really good explanation of the relationship between income and happiness here. And around there, it's up to a certain point. We also learn that if you have less money and you make more, and it makes me more happy, versus people who have more money already, right, or more financially secure, more money doesn't make them happy. So again, very interesting relationships, but overall money does make you happy. So again, these are just some questions. Statistics is amazing in many ways because it's about the study of us, like I was trying to outline. Hopefully you can see some of the work and assignments connected to your future career and outcome. And the last thing, again, I want to give you a link for, and stay with me here, okay? Don't click off yet, is I have this amazing data set that pretty much outlines for every college in the country, or almost every college, every major degree, and then the median earnings 4 years after graduation. So I started investigating, I'll give you the link to this too, investigating different things. So for example, if you have a lot of nursing majors, so you could see, these are all the nursing majors. I have a link here to this data set. You could look at the college, and then we could see the median salary 4 years after graduation. This is students from 2018 graduated and what they made in 2022. And so the number of graduates from that college and then how much they're making. So you could see the salary there. So we can see, if you want to be a nurse, I can sort this out, right? Let's sort this from low to high. Let's go high to low. You want to see that better. So you could see someone who graduated from Cal State East Bay, registered nurse, bachelor's degree. The median earnings are $139,000 for 185 graduates. So half the students make more than that and half make less 4 years after graduation. And that's from East Bay. That's the highest paying for some reason, right? And again, statistics, San Francisco State's on there, making $135,000, half of them if you graduate from there. And again, you can sort through here and look at the college you're going to go to. Where's Fullerton, since that's one of the popular schools that our students go to for nursing. I'm looking for Fullerton. It will come up somewhere at some point. I guess I can do Control F. And you also see there's not all some associate's degree too. Take a look at Contra Costa College. For some reason, they have a program. associates that pays very well for nursing, registered nurses, nursing. Dominguez Hills is here and so forth. So I have data like that for psychology majors, right? Criminal justice majors, sociology majors. You can get a sense of the college, how much money you make, the degree, and this is 4 years after graduation. So I'll send that out because I think this is important when many of you are trying to go to college for future success and independence, financial, and you need to make informed decisions, which is one of the reasons we use statistics to make decisions about our world, make better decisions. And so I'll send you this link here of all the data. This is a very big data set, but again, you can look at all the different majors, different colleges. You could sort by different colleges. So let's do one last one. Is kind of like, if I can get there, probably not. I'm a little slow. I was going to say Fullerton is our big one for students who come to Santa Ana College. If we could find Cal State, I'm going to get there. Cerritos, Santa Ana College is there too. Some of them. Let's see. There we go. There's Fuller. There is Humboldt, Pomona, Bakersfield. We'll get there. I'll send this out. There's Fullerton, and then you could see again where are the top majors. Computer science, nursing does good. That's the highest paying degree at Fullerton 4 years after graduation. Nursing, 105,000. Computer engineering, computer science, electrical engineering, civil. You can see the distribution there. So I think that's enough. You guys hung on there for 12 minutes. I appreciate that time, and hopefully you enjoyed the class.